Wednesday, April 12, 1893, The New York Times. Anarchists at Maspeth. Plan concocted to blow up E.V. Crandall's factory. Bombs found, all capped and fused and ready to explode. Flight of those who were in the plot. Confession of an associate now in jail. Long Island City, April 11. The apparent intention of a gang of anarchist employees to blow up their employer, E.V. Crandall of Maspeth, his factory, and about 40 of his employees who are not anarchists, was the appetizing discovery which Mr. Crandall made about breakfast time this morning. Maspeth is a little manufacturing village just out of Long Island City upon Newtown Creek. It is noted as possessing, among its many exhilarating beauties, such as horse meat sausage factories, chemical works that smell to high heaven, and bone boiling and other concerns devoted to advanced arts, a colony of the most active and aggressive anarchists about New York. When not engaged in attempting the lives of the local capitalists, a few of whom still survive, they vary the monotony by murdering each other and burning barns. Mr. Crandall is a large employer of labor in conducting his factory, in which he manufactures whiting, putty, and alum. He has had among his employees about 10 of these human firebrands, who have made his life one of almost continual excitement and kept him on the verge of nervous prostration for a long time. Once the works were totally destroyed by an incendiary fire. Once Mr. Crandall's life was attempted, and now 3 particularly murderous-looking dynamite bombs have been found nestling in close proximity to the factory walls with caps and fuses ready for action. Just how many more of these pleasant companions may be hidden about is unknown. Otto Eckhold is in custody, and his fellow anarchists have flown because he proposes to confess. Eckhold was the fireman at the works and is under arrest, charged with having fired the works when they were burned in December 1891. He was seen in his cell in the Long Island City Jail this afternoon by the New York Times reporter, and talked freely and proved to his own satisfaction that he was a deeply injured citizen. He said that in addition to his job as fireman at the works, he conducted the International Hotel, the headquarters for the village anarchists. He declared that he had been betrayed by his fellow anarchists and charged with various crimes which he did not commit because he would not join in some bloody plots. For that reason, he gave up the hotel, he says, and resigned from the ranks. He charged that Henry Ruppert, Mr. Crandall's foreman, also an anarchist, made the bombs, that he saw him make them. He denied that he ever murdered a man, as charged, or that he had had any hand in the burning of the works or in the burning of the big cooperage works next door to his hotel last September. He proposed to clear himself and lay all the blame where it belonged for the various episodes like arson and murders that had enlivened Maspeth since ere most established the anarchist colony in the village 4 years ago. Thus he would do, he said, when he was summoned before the grand jury Wednesday or Thursday, and not before. From Mr. Crandall's account, Eckhold is anything but lamb-like. His employer says that he once borrowed money of him to get out of a shooting scrape in which he had perforated a fellow anarchist. On the occasion of the fire, he was seen to be hoisted by fellow employees out of that part of the building from which soon afterward flames burst forth. When Constable Hoke attempted to arrest him for this offense, he endeavored to pour a kettle of boiling water over the officer. Mr. Crandall says he has been bled unmercifully by the gang, that he has been at their mercy, and that recently one of his employees said to him, "The works won't be burned next time. We'll blow them to hell." Mr. Crandall adds that he is done with this sort of employee now for all time, that he now has a man in the place of every one of the 8 or 10 who have been with him up to yesterday, and that he had competent watchmen who will prevent any bomb work in the future. The village constables are trying to corral some more of the gang.